accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive. I accept, I believe that I have all I need now. I allow, I receive. I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive. I accept, I believe that I have all I need now. Welcome to Unity of Bon Air on a beautiful Sunday morning. We're glad you're here. And we're going to get our service started the way we always do. Let us stand and affirm in song what we know to be true. God is good, and all is well. What a wonderful morning, beyond compare. I feel God's loving presence everywhere. I am filled with joy profound in a world where many miracles abound. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. Please be seated.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Bon Air, where we live and express unconditional love and grow together in peace and prosperity. My name is Edward Hayes, and I am your service leader today. I'm glad to be with you this morning, both in person and online. Whether this is your first time or your 100th time joining us, we are grateful for your presence and participation as we share this special time together. We have come together as part of love's divine purpose that calls each of us forth to celebrate the connection we all share through the holy presence within and all around us that we call God. In the spirit of community, we unfold enlightened love, all spiritual gatherings, all religious gatherings, and all people everywhere as we begin this time together with reading of the daily word. And the phrase for today is pray for others. What an honor it is to hold others in prayer. I am grateful for this sacred trust and use it to see beyond appearances, knowing they are temporary conditions. I focus on the unchangeable truth that everyone whom I pray for is a divine being, a living expression of God. As I pray for others, I envision divine peace, calming thoughts, and strengthening faith. I see healing leading to the realization of wholeness. I pray divine love and wisdom create harmony in relationships, guiding every decision. I affirm divine order is established in every area of life. And I'm going to repeat that affirmation. Divine order is established in every area of life. I claim for them the zeal to complete everything that needs to be done. I then give thanks, grateful to bless others with the gift of prayer. Our scripture today comes from Matthew 18th chapter, 19th verse. Again, truly I tell you, if two or more agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. Our affirmation for today, I will say it once and I'll ask that you repeat it twice afterwards. I know the truth of each dear one I hold in prayer. I know the truth of each dear one I hold in prayer. I know the truth of each dear one I hold in prayer. Thank you. And now it's my time to introduce our speakers. And our speakers today come from us via a message they pre-recorded just for Unity of Bon Air. They are Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett and her daughter Alicia Whitsett. The two of them co-authored a book released this year titled This Life is Yours, Discover Your Power, Claim Your Wholeness, and Heal Your Life, which is the current subject of our Sunday morning spiritual group. Reverend Linda is an inspiring, respected Unity minister and spiritual teacher who was the senior minister at Unity of San Antonio for 14 years. She is the winner of the 2011 Best Spiritual Author for her first book, How to Pray Without Talking to God. Her second book, Divine Audacity, Dare to Be the Light of the World, promotes our innate capacities to respond to life circumstances in spiritual maturity. Linda serves as Vice President of Unity Worldwide Prayer Ministry, including Silent Unity, which is Unity's 24/7 prayer ministry. Alicia Whitsett is a first-time author and lifelong student of Unity teachings. Motivated by her own struggles with identity, illness, and grief, she dedicated the last 5 years to spiritual growth and holistic healing on her own terms. Alicia is a graduate of the University of Texas of the Permian Basin, and I think that's right. Anybody knows can correct me now. Thank you. With her BA in sociology and resides in Kansas City, Missouri, where she supports individuals with developmental disabilities through the Department of Mental Health. So let's welcome Linda and Alicia. And now I invite you to look around the people in this sanctuary and around the room and place where you are and recognize the truth of this beautiful song. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Good morning, friends. My name is Cheryl, for those of you I haven't met yet, and I'm a Unity Minister candidate, and it's my pleasure to serve as the cruise director for the remainder of this this experience we're having together that Edward has started off so wonderfully. So right now we're going to move into our opening prayer. So just take a moment to settle into your seat. Settle into this moment. If you wish, you can allow your outer eyes to drift closed as we quiet the mind and open the heart, knowing that each and every one of us is an expression of all that is at the point of us. And in that capacity, we step into our awareness of divine love. That we have the privilege of being divine love in this world, in every circumstance, And we can take that capacity, that focus. Let's first expand our divine love awareness within ourselves. So just kind of check in with your body, starting down with your feet where you're making contact with the floor, with the earth, depending on where you are. And just move that awareness up through all the parts of your body, just shining that light of divine love and acceptance. You might encounter some places that are feeling a little out of sorts. Just love on it. Just accept it the way it is. And move on up until you reach the very top of your head. And from there, let's let this awareness of divine love expand. Expand out into this room. And from this capacity, this awareness of divine love, we are able to embrace and enfold all of the names on our prayer list. All of the names of those that we know we would like to hold in prayer. All of the situations that we are aware of in the world where individuals are experiencing strife or loss or disruption of some sort. We embrace it all in this wonderful capacity for divine love. Let's take a moment and share the names of those we would like to hold in prayer or circumstances we would like to hold in prayer and speak them into this sacred space that we have created. Speak those things now. And we see each and every one of those individuals and circumstances lifted up. We see this brilliant light of divine love shining through their thoughts and feelings so that they are lifted up in their circumstance. And then we go beyond, expanding this field of divine love out into our community, into our nation, into our world, embracing our earthly home in divine love, and lifting all up with us as we are all interconnected in a web of wholeness. And as we raise our attention up, we also raise the energy of the others that we hold in our consciousness. And for our capacity to share this energy of divine love, we are grateful. And as we come back to our seats, come back to this moment, come back to the room that you are in, we dwell in that powerful energy of gratitude, knowing the more energy and attention we give to gratitude, the more we will discover opportunities to be grateful. So for this time together in prayer, for all the opportunities in our lives to be the power of divine love, let's say together 3 times, we are grateful. We are grateful, we are grateful, we are grateful. So we are, my friends, and so it is. Amen. So welcome, everyone. And welcome anyone who's here for the first time. We are so happy to have you with us here in the room or online. Anyone who's visiting us for the first time, I encourage you, those of you who are here in person, there are welcome packets that have all kinds of interesting things. And those of you who are online, please visit unitybonaire.org. There's all kinds of wonderful resources there for you. And we're really glad that you're here with us today. So, it's a beautiful day outside, isn't it? Wonderful summer day. And for years now at Unity of Bonaire, we have had a summer series. And in previous years, it was called the Sizzlin' Summer Series. We're shifting temperatures now. So now we're going to be chillin' at Unity. So, chillin' at Unity starts this Thursday. And we have 6 programs. The last one's on a Saturday, but all the ones before that, the first 5 are on Thursday evenings. So the one this week is a spoken word showcase. So it's going to be something that's just going to be wonderful on so many different levels. We have talented and loving people here from Unity of Bonaire. Jim Lakin, raise your hand, Jim. He's going to be reading some poetry that he has written. Also Mary Curley, that's right. Kelly Lane, who many of you will know because he frequently, when he's in person, he is Sufi dancing in the back of the room. He is going to be sharing his talent for slam poetry. We'll also have a video from Friends of Unity of Bonaire, Ingrid Ali and her husband Hamilton Sage. So, yeah. They are not able to be here in person, but they've given me permission to show a video of their work with spoken word. And we have a couple of special guests. One is an award-winning poet who has been a friend of mine for years. I met her in college, and her name is Heidi Rezes, and she now resides in Richmond. She's an award-winning poet. She's the winner of the 2018 Robert Dana Prize for Poetry, so an award-winning poet. And we also have an award-winning and notable slam poet from the Richmond area. Her name is Zenobia Bay, and she goes by the handle Z-Bay the Poet. And recently, she is one of the 2021 community makers that were acknowledged by the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. And my connection with her is through the production company that I run with my buddy Matt Tracy and have for years, called Free Jambalaya. And we've seen, Free Jambalaya has shown up here at Unity of Bonaire a few times, and Zenobia Bay has done some recording work. So I'm going to just play you a little preview.
You need that prayer, you need it from those that's close to you.
Just so you know kind of what you might be hearing a little bit of on Thursday. It'll get going in just a second. Just hold on.
Lord, I asked my mother the other day, could she please pray for me? Yeah, yeah. The little girl going through some things, not a good day for me. Yeah. Heart full of rejection, but I got a little bit of faith in me. Yeah, yeah. Telling lies, man, but the truth lands in me. Yeah.
So that, my friends, is Z-Bay the Poet. So if you would like to hear more of that, yeah, she's really awesome. Very powerful presence, and she also has a not-for-profit that she's launched that is there to help with mentoring of young people in the community. She's a really, really powerful, positive message woman, and I'm just so excited she's going to be joining us. So I hope you'll be here on Thursday. It starts at 6:30, so it won't be late night. Those of you who don't want me staying up, it starts at 6:30, so it'll be over in plenty of time. We'll have some snacks. It's going to be a great time. So hope to see you on Thursday for Chillin' at Unity. All right. Let's see, what comes next? I'm looking at my list going, what comes next? I think we're going to do a congregational song. Let's do that. Okay.
Would you guys please stand? Today we're going to sing It's in Every One of Us.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up all your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, you and I. It's in every one of us, we are free. Find yourself, open your eyes and see. We can all have everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us, here and now. It's in every one of us, here and now.
Those of you in the room, let's remain standing. See, that's why I call myself the cruise director, right? It's like, all right, so we will now affirm our statement of truth. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the omnipotent good. And as all the teachings we share at Unity are based on the teachings of Jesus, we include the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Please be seated.
And now we will hear from our wonderful guest speakers.
I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you
I feel you deep within, so I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you. So I want you to know I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. Oh, I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry, 'cause I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I'm sending you light to hold you in love.
Good morning, Unity community. So grateful for a chance to share a Sunday experience with you. I'm Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett, and I'm here with my daughter and co-author, Alicia Whitsett. Together, we wrote a book entitled This Life is Yours, Discover Your Power, Claim Your Wholeness, and Heal Your Life. We'd like to share some of the themes from our message this morning. So before the pandemic, I traveled quite a bit, and one of my favorite locations was arriving at anywhere that had a beach. I did that for one of my last trips. I brought a brand new hand razor along with me because I knew I needed to take care of that before I went to the beach. So I lathered up, I ran the razor up my leg, and as I like to do, I looked closely to make sure that I had gotten everything. Well, lo and behold, the hair was still on my leg and none of it was on the razor. So I thought something must be wrong with this razor. I know, I'll try it in a different location. Now there's a logical thought, right? So, but that's what I did. And of course, it didn't work there either. And so I gave up. I thought, I need a new razor. I cleaned up, I went down to the desk, and they gave me a fresh one. Then I finished the job, and when I was cleaning up and I was drying off, my baby toe stung. It just felt sore. It gave me a moment of pause. And right then, I had an awareness, a remembrance. The head of the razor had fallen off, and I had reattached it. Perhaps I had attached it upside down. Any of you kind of were ahead of me and figured that out? Well, trying to fix something we think is broken, well, maybe it's not broken. Maybe it's our thinking that's upside down.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of a little show you might be familiar with called Stranger Things. And in Stranger Things, there's the upside down, which is pretty much the opposite world that people go to get lost in. Now think about that. Think about getting lost in your upside down thoughts. And what a statement that is.
Well, co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, he wrote a lot about thoughts and about how we work with thoughts. And he said, of course, thoughts are things and they have real effects. We've all noticed it, haven't we? But the effects of any thought depends really upon its emotional intensity. You know, the ones that really pop and have effects. And they also are determined by how strongly we feel about them. And then that we repeat it again and again and again. And as we know, a thought we think again and again and again becomes a belief. And a belief becomes solidified in our experience. So we thought we'd like to share about like the big upside down thought that most of us have when we think about healing.
In our book, This Life is Yours, we discuss some of the primary thoughts that could be perceived to be missing, wrong, or broken. So one of the biggest beliefs would be, I'm only human. And humanity, as we know, is fundamentally broken and fallen and looking toward an outside or other than source to have all of the answers and to solve the problems, right? We say to ourselves, I'm powerless, only God can heal me. Mm-hmm. So the core religious beliefs that we've been given that message starting at a very early age. We're getting those from our churches, our communities, our families, our schools. And when you think about that, this is that collective consciousness that says something is broken about you. So imagine being so little and getting that message reinforced to you. It's kind of hard to see yourself outside of that circumstance, correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And, you know, we tend to think, well, I don't believe that anymore. I mean, we know we're in a Unity community. We know we don't believe that anymore. The challenge is that so much of it is subliminal. So much of it is below the surface of our awareness. And we find ourselves saying things that are part of that original messaging that we say we don't believe, and yet somehow we sort of confuse ourselves, you know? So it's not as harmless as we would think, even though we say, well, I'm well beyond that idea. You know what I'm saying? What happens is systemically, why it's called collective consciousness, is that it sets us up to imagine God to be a deity, right? A superhuman personality that we need to fix us and to save us, right? If we're broken and fallen, we need God as a fixer. And what happens is we start interpreting the things that happen to us either as a reward or a punishment from that deity. Moreover, it plays out in our social systems, right? The police system, we're seeing the troubles with that nowadays. Our justice system, our politics and governance all have something built in around a belief that inherently something is wrong with humanity. Something is fundamentally missing, wrong, or broken about humans. Totally upside down.
And when we have to look at that external source as that place of power, it makes me think about doing group projects in school and how you always had that one person that was ready to be the leader. They were ready to take charge of the group. You had the other people that maybe weren't as interested in even participating. They were just along for the ride to get that good grade. So what happens if you then turn in an assignment and the grade is not what you thought it was going to be? Who gets the blame? Who gets to take credit for that? Well, the blame is all going to go back on that group leader, right? And that's what we're looking at when we are, when we're looking to a God, to an external God. We're looking for somebody who's going to take the blame, let me off the hook for all of it. So in a way, that feels great. But on the other end, it means exactly what we said before. I am powerless. And when you put that into your heart, I am powerless. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't make me feel the way I want to see myself in this world.
It doesn't feel real either.
Right.
We know that can't be right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we have this belief that God has to heal us, we start to believe unknowingly in a conditional God. Now, why do I say that? Because who does God heal and when? I mean, we notice, don't we all notice that some things that we deal with heal and other things don't heal, or they heal at different times, and sometimes it takes a lot to get to healing. And some people heal sometimes, and some people die of the same things that somebody else just healed from. You know what I'm saying? It's as if we believe in a God that has preferences or favorites, or a God that is capricious or calculating or even cruel. And we, as if God acts like a schoolyard bully, right? And I have to get on his good side. And he's a he. Or if I follow a plan that somebody tells me is God's plan for me, then maybe I'll be all right. So all the conditions, you hear them? If I gather enough prayer warriors around me, then God's actually going to get get attention on it for me. Or if I suffer sufficiently or long enough, you know where we're going. You see the potential. These are just some of the ways that the collective consciousness points to the way it works. Totally, in our opinion, upside down.
Yeah. So when you're thinking about it as this conditional God, again, it's saying that everything you need to do, it requires this action outside of who you just are on your own, right?
Wow.
It requires you to be called to a greater purpose, to be changing some aspect about yourself, to be worthy, to be deemed worthy, right? Worthy. So what's the right side thinking about that is, well, I'm 100% human, yes, but I'm also 100% divine. And divinity is your natural right. You are whole and complete outside of your circumstances.
Yes.
And you're fully loaded with these spiritual capacities, these tools that you have to make your life what you want it to look like, but you have the power. You're in control of that. And I think that part of that upside down thinking in that is that it's hard to step into your power. It's hard to claim I'm divine. It doesn't sound natural because of those messages that we've been receiving. So when I do stand in my power and I recognize my wholeness outside of any circumstance, what comes out of that? What's next for me?
Yes, unless you might be thinking that, well, we're talking about leaving God out of this. No, God is our nature. Divinity is our nature. So that right side is that God is the principle of wholeness, divine life itself, right? So Myrtle Fillmore said, God is not a person, but a principle, and not a cold-hearted principle like mathematics, but the life principle, the love principle, the wisdom principle. You hear it? All the spiritual software that we need, all of our capacities, right? So what do we do on the right side of this healing idea is we take hold of principle. And that's the teaching. And we see when we do that, that God is not a deity that acts, that heals us, so to speak, right? Understand, God is not a deity that heals. No, God is the principle by which I heal. So when Alicia talked about I'm in charge, or I have the power within me, and I'm not powerless, I'm in control in that sense. What we're saying is I take hold of that principle of life, and I embody it by the actions that I take and by the thoughts that I think. I heal this way. I heal in the moment of, and to the degree that I realize the principle of wholeness is what I am, right? Jesus said it this way to the people who came to him for healing: take up your bed and walk. Jesus wasn't claiming to heal anybody when he said that. He's not saying, take up your bed, I'll heal you. No, he's like, take up your bed, take up your crutch and go, live fully. He was reminding them that the power was in them. You take it up. He's not saying, let somebody stronger than you come and carry your bed for you. No, you take that bed up and you walk. I mean, this is powerful. This is where the power to heal is. I heal as I realize I am 100% human and 100% divine. I am whole, which means I am undivided. I am intact. To heal is to claim wholeness.
So what changes in your experience when you claim that wholeness? I remember auditioning for a show. It was for a summer dinner theater. And I was so nervous, and I had prepared really hard, and I was in a big room full of over 100 others who were auditioning as well. And they called me up into this group and lined us up in front of everyone else in the room and started whispering about us. And as I looked around and I looked at the other people standing next to me, my confidence started to fade a little bit. And in my mind, I was thinking, I don't belong up here. And then I locked eyes with the director, and they whispered one more thing, and then they asked me to sit down. The second I went back and sat down, they called and said that that final group standing up was the group that was going to be going to the summer dinner theater. So I was one slot away because I doubted myself. That was how I internalized it. Now, the next year, when I did go and auditioned and made the group, I talked to my director about almost getting to go the previous year. And he said, you weren't ready. You weren't ready. And they could feel that doubt. So that's not saying that others don't see your potential. It was me who didn't see my potential, who didn't see my worthiness, who didn't feel whole, who didn't feel like a complete package that they were looking for. That's what emulated off of me. And that was a big, big wake-up call for me.
Wow.
So when I think about claiming your wholeness, despite your circumstances, it's I show up. I choose how I show up. And what others see of me is that belief. It's that knowledge that I can never be separate from that wholeness, that there's nothing wrong, missing, or broken about me, and that I have choices. I have possibilities that open up for me when I can recognize that, when I can claim that in this world.
Yep. Wow, that's a really clear example of how much of an inside job healing is.
Yes.
That because, what happened there? Some deity didn't zing Alicia and say, believe in yourself, believe in yourself. No, she came to that That's called spiritual realization in a moment of need. And that's doing what we're meant to do. When Jesus said we're the light of the world, it's our ability to be able to internalize, to activate, and to then express the very qualities within us that are divine. So this is how we heal. And we hope you will pick up our copy of our book, check out some of the tools that we include in this book for healing. And we want to see you discover your power, claim your wholeness, and heal your life. That's right. Well, let's take a few minutes for meditation now. So turn with us as we close our eyes together. Take a few deep and refreshing breaths. For here in this moment, we take all that we have shared about, listened to, and thought about this morning, and we clear our minds of all of it for just a few moments to be fully and utterly present. With each breath, we deepen our slowing down. We deepen our sense of openness to the truth within the message. We slow down enough to open our minds and our hearts to the truth as we comprehend it. For we know intuitively, don't we, that the messages we've been given about a fallen world or about having fundamentally something missing, wrong, or broken, it plays out in ways that can be torturous for us inside of our own mind. Thoughts of unworthiness, thoughts of never being good enough, not having enough credentials, and all the ways that it plays out. And yet, we are 100% divine. And here and now is where we look to the source of our divinity, the very power that God is, that we can sense within us and all around us. And we invite ourselves into the integration of our divinity and our humanity as we sit in a moment of silence where we can say, I am divine. I am divine. I am 100% human and 100% divine. I am a divine human. That means that I am whole, that all that I need to live my life is within me, that all the power that is the power that I have access to in order to live my life. And so as we settle into this as the truth, let me read to you an affirmation from power, an affirmation for power. And pay attention to your own power center at the throat chakra and speak these words silently. Repeat them to yourself. I am the commander of my mind. Like a laser beam of light that cuts through steel, I concentrate attention on what is most important right now. For all that is unfinished or uncertain, spiritual power is required. I am master of my mind and my mood. I practice self-mastery, knowing when to speak up, knowing when to be quiet. When I do speak, I declare what is true, what is clarifying, what is helpful. I am a demonstration of spiritual power. And so it is. Gently open your eyes again.
So it's not as if we will never have these upside down thoughts again, right? But our spiritual practice and healing itself is a continual loop. It's not ending. And when we're reminded that this is an ongoing spiritual practice, that means we give ourselves the grace to make those little missteps, to almost correct our thinking and be reminded that we are whole and that we have all we need within us.
Yes. And we truly do then take up our bed and walk. We are the driver of our healing in that sense, right? So Alicia and I, we honor you, we bless you for any spark of insight that arises in your thoughts and feelings this morning, and for your courage to walk in your human experience with a growing awareness of your spiritual capacities. We appreciate your presence here with us, and we know this about you. You are divine.
Wasn't that wonderful? And for those of us who are, doing the Sunday morning spiritual study, that was our second time through that affirmation for power this morning. And it really speaks to me because empowerment is at the heart of my mission in ministry. So what a wonderful gift. So now is the time in our service to prepare our tithes and love offerings. So if you have a physical love offering with you, I invite you to kind of, bring it into your hand and just shower that essence of divine love onto that love offering. And if what you do is do your giving online, then you can do that in your consciousness. Just take that gift and just imbibe it with that power of divine love. And now we're going to hear some music while our collection is taken in the room, and then we will bless those offerings in just a few minutes.
This song was originally written by Bob Dylan, changed up a little bit by Mr. Rod Stewart here. May the good Lord be with you down every road you roam, and may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. And may you grow to be proud, dignified, and true, and do unto others as you'd have them done to you. Be courageous and be brave, and in my heart you'll always stay forever young, forever young. May good fortune be with you, may your guiding light be strong. Build a stairway to heaven with a prince or vagabond. And may you never love in vain, and in your heart you will remain forever young, forever young. Sing along with me. Forever young. Forever young. Go, Lucy. And when you finally fly away, I'm hoping that I serve you well. For all the wisdom of a lifetime that no one else can tell. And whatever road you choose, God is behind you, win or lose. Forever young, forever young. Forever young, forever young. I am forever young. We are forever young. One last time. Forever young.
Thank you so much. And come on forward, friends. As I skipped over our affirmation, apparently your cruise director needs a cruise director today. So we'll do our affirmation and we'll bless the offering. So let's do our affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving and receiving. And so we enfold in our prosperity consciousness all the gifts present here, knowing that the gift and the giver are one, and seeing these blessings rolling out into our world, into our community, into our lives here in this community in wonderful ways. And we are grateful. So let's say that 3 times. We are grateful. We are grateful. We are grateful. And so it is. All right. Edward, have some things you would like to share, sir?
2. Transformational opportunities. The spiritual practice gathering tonight will be led by Cheryl Fair. The topic is reminding yourself. Using music and meditation, we will check in with our cognitive centers and remind ourselves of the joyous and wise expression of our divine nature. This is in person and on Zoom at 5 p.m. And if you are coming in person, plan to stay around and socialize afterwards because we're coming out of the pandemic.
And we have snacks. We have snacks. Come at 5. We have snacks.
Next Sunday, our guest speaker will be Reverend Valerie Kay, and the message title is, Who Do You Think You Are? You have to be careful the way you say that. Valerie will share who and what we are as both human and divine, and how to use spiritual practice to breathe through difficulties and return to center. On Tuesday evenings, both in person and on Zoom, Reverend Valerie and Reverend Alva Kershaw are facilitating a book study, and the book is by Valerie Kaur, titled See No Stranger, A Memoir and Manifesto of Revolutionary Love. The group is exploring the relationship between practices of revolutionary love, anti-racism, and fighting for justice. The book is available in our bookstore, and even though it's already started, you may join the class at any time. Cheryl, what is the time of the class? It's 7
o'clock.
Just want to make sure. You can almost assume 7, but every once in a while.
Right, exactly.
Every once in a while, but this one is at 7. Please take note that our Wednesday noon meditation will now only be in person and not on Facebook. Come to meditation and bring your lunch if you like, for a time of fellowship afterwards. The youth and family ministry is growing, and with that growth comes amazing opportunities for adult volunteers to work with our young people. If you have one Sunday a month, just one Sunday a month, to volunteer with our youth, we guarantee you and the youth will love it. Contact Reverend Valerie with your questions and sign up. You will be supported with all that you need for this wonderful experience to support our children as we grow together in unity. And speaking of youth, we are very excited that the Village Montessori Academy is now enrolling its preschool that is right here at Unity of Bon Air. We hope you will share this with everyone you know who has preschoolers. You can find the link and information about the school and how to enroll on unitybonair.org. And I just want to thank Jim Lakin and Rusty and John and many of the volunteers who are preparing the room. You should go by and look at it. It's really a magnificent. Got the floor down, so it looks really great. And speaking of how things have changed, I have been reminded that coffee and refreshments will be available after church on the promenade. So please take advantage of that and share and socialize together. And now our gentle reminder that not everyone, even though we're coming out of the pandemic, not everyone is ready for close contact, meaning hugging and holding hands. We respect each other by refraining of reaching and taking someone's hand unless you already know that they're okay with it. And if you're someone who's not okay with it, we just ask that you indicate through a namaste, or you can follow Cheryl's celebration with your hands like that. Our chaplains are here to pray with you in the sanctuary. Will our chaplains stand up? Wow, we've got quite a group today. We want to welcome specifically our Sherry McKenzie, who we've not seen for a while. And the easiest way to know about everything going on in Unity of Bon Air is to sign up for the e-news, which will arrive in your inbox every Wednesday. And you can also go on the website and look at the calendar. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Edward. So a little bird came and whispered to me that we do indeed have children, but they're going to stay where they are. Thank you very much. So we can just bless them where they are, know that they're having a wonderful time, and that coming to visit with us is just not on their agenda today. And now's the time to just kind of recognize all of the people who bring this wonderful experience to you today. Our wonderful music team, Lucy, Claudia, Julie. Our AV team in the back, we've got Dan and Veronica. Our service leader, Edward. And all of our volunteers from the front door all the way in, greeting and helping you to feel welcome. We love and recognize all of you and those folks working in the background. Our communications assistant, Deb Thompson, who puts together these wonderful slideshows for us. We recognize everyone, and now I declare this service is now ended, and our ministry of love continues. So let us have our prayer for protection and followed by the peace song. I wanted to say one thing right here. I realized I was doing this last week, and so I'm just going to explain it a little bit. When I was in the hospital for months, like 6 years ago, I used the prayer for protection a lot in my healing process, and in my mind, there were movements. And I found myself doing them on stage last, and I was like, well, let me just explain that, and if you would like to join me, you can do that. Because some of us are kinesthetic in nature, and I found it to be very powerful. So if you want to join me in that, but if I'm up here waving my arms around, you know what that is. All right? So why don't everyone here stand, and let's just say this together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now we'll sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth and
that was meant to be. With God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect